I built a go-to-market operating system to make my AI always work like I do without ever having to copy and paste ever again. In this video, I'm going to show you why and how it works so well, how the future of AI means scaling your expertise and taste in a context operating system like this, and the main benefits of such a system in a go-to-market context. So I'm a big believer in seeing is believing. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to ask my system to explain itself uh, with a little prompt here. Just to give you some context of what you're looking at, this is Cursor plus Claude Code. That is the core operational unit of the system, and there's a knowledge graph, which we'll see in a second here. But to start, I'm going to paste in my little query, tell Claude to say hi to the audience, everyone, and we're going to get into explaining how this works. For my setup, uh, there are two sections. There's the operational layer, which is the foundation, apps, knowledge base, or excuse me, go-to-market engagements, everything in here, right? And the knowledge base. So the knowledge base is an actual knowledge graph. So let me show you what that looks like right here. Foam, show graph. Push that right here. You see a ton of stuff, right? This is the sum total of hundreds of call transcripts and documentation and code and my whole business basically. It'll look different, or it looks different for each graph. I built a few of these for myself and for clients so far, but using this UI, you can see how things fit together across the knowledge base of all the different concepts that I'm studying, working through. Um, and you see over here all these little stars, you want to call them, are the stuff that's not connected, usually the stuff um, over here. So let's go look at what Claude said. So you see, because I had the file open, it automatically went and decided to read it and pull it in. Now it also has the context in my Claude.md file here and all across the system on how to navigate around the graph itself. And the graph is linked together, just so you saw. So it has a perfect ability to recall information and reuse it. So you never have to solve the same problem twice. And that kind of gets to the core, one of the core problems, which is in my positioning doc, which I just worked on today. We're all copying and pasting across ChatGPT and Claude and your Clayton prompt and Perplexity and like God knows what other AI interfaces. That context switching is painful. And not only is it painful for you, but it is drastically reducing the quality of the outputs you're getting. And the reason for that is you make a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, it degrades. The alternative, much better version of this is in think about like a master record, right? It is the highest quality version of information you have, and you can always copy from it because it doesn't degrade the same way as the 100th copy does. That's what this system is. This is your master record for everything go-to-market context. So you saw me run the query. I'm like reading this for the first time. It didn't do exactly what I wanted to, but it actually gave me some things I could show you, which I'm not going to do because that the Fireflies is kind of out of scope for this video. But it is right that I pulled in Fireflies call transcripts and kind of turn that into the context operating system or architecture. Um, so I didn't prompt my AI well enough. That's my fault. It mentions client names and some client context that I obviously do not want to show. So instead, we're going to focus more so on the outcomes. Uh, what does it solve? How does it solve it? The three ones I've identified. Um, Solving the context switching problem is obviously a big one, but what does that mean? It drastically reduces your time to market for content, for ad campaigns, for anything that requires on creating a hypothesis and iterating on it over time. It increases your cycle rate, whatever you want to call it, but overall it reduces your time to market, which is huge in go to market, right? For your message market fit testing, that's huge. Um, the other thing is is by encoding your taste into the system, it's not, you are no longer bottlenecked by like your ability and your time, your energy and your time to review across, your entire knowledge base, across your Notion, your call transcripts, your Gone, Hotspot, whatever. Every single data point that comes into the system can now be analyzed in the context of your most pressing priorities and worries and top of mind, right? Or your expertise as well. Your expertise, because the system reflects your expertise and understanding. I want to emphasize this. This is not meant to replace you or your expertise. It is meant to amplify you. It is meant to amplify your expertise. And one of the outcomes of that is that you better align the raw leverage that is all of these AI agents and toolings. And that gives you more visibility. It's like an extension of your expertise. Because instead of having to go line by line in every single call transcript your team has, all 300 of them, you can sit down, work through a prompt that goes through your top priorities. What strategic questions do you have right now? Why do you care about them? And like work through that understanding, turn that into an agent, and then throw the agent at every single of those transcripts. And then suddenly, all of that noise is turned into an unreasonable level of clarity and insight. And that's pretty huge. And the last one is the one that I've been harping on. It is once you solve a problem once in the system, it is solved forever. It is persistent to a markdown file and or an agent or whatever the right modality is. That's a little more technical for this video, but it's something I'm working on a lot and actually building the systems. But once it's solved, it is reusable forever because it's persistent to the system. It's saved to the Git repository. Those are the three big outcomes. And I would actually say the thing that's been the most surprising actually building the systems for myself and for clients is in just how many different ways it can create value for you. I've had someone say, "Hey, can we use this to generate a faster, onboarding for new hires?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't even think we could do that, but yes, that's true. You could have it go analyze all the transcripts. What are the common objections? How do you handle them? Give that to the new hire, right? Or accelerating content production, doing SEO, AEO, your answer engine optimization, which is just AI SEO, right? I my big thing now is really trying to figure out what you can't use it for versus what the use cases are. That's how much I've seen it, seen where people actually get value out of the system in ways that I had just couldn't have previously expected. So that's obviously kind of out of scope of my system because this is my personal version of it. Um, but I do want to show you the other side of this system, which is not only does it work in uh, Cursor and Git and seems to work locally, um, I've deployed it to the cloud so I can use it from anywhere. So let me show you that. So because it is powered by Git, not only does it work on my local machine, this is a multi-user tool. Um, the same operational excellence that Git provides to developers, where you can have hundreds of developers working in the same repository, that is possible with this as well. And on top of that, some extra engineering means this thing is accessible via MCP. So anywhere that's a Claude or a ChatGPT, anything that supports MCP, you can query it against the graph. So I'll show you that right now. This is the exact same query as before. It's not going to be super great because apparently the query I wrote is not great. But what I'm trying to show is the excellence of the agentic search here. So while it does that, I'm going to finish up with some closing thoughts. I am so excited to build systems I feel like are actually a human first implementation, a human first version of AI. where the vision is not to automate and replace, but to amplify and celebrate human expertise in taste. That is what the system is meant to do. Obviously, there are parts of it where there are real automations. We can get more into that on the content side and ingestion side for call transcripts in another video. But um, this really matters to me. Okay, it finished and it wrote me a script. I guess, I wish someone had told me I was going to write me a script before I recorded this video. Um, but just to get into the actual query response here, right? This is agentic search querying into the graph. So this is actually a multi-agent system at this point, which is pretty cool. So just to get back to my closing thoughts, not only do I believe like the human first version of this is better for us in the long term, um, in the immediate, like the value gains of this in a go-to-market setting are like undeniable. It is so crazy to see, um, even though I'm the one building it. Um, Looping back, right? It's your iteration tempo. You drastically reduce your time to market. You never have to solve the same problem twice, and you scale your expertise. Imagine being able to analyze every single data point that comes across all of your go-to-market systems, not just your transcripts, but your CRM, data sets, outbound campaigns, ads, everything. All of that can be imbued and analyzed through the lens of your expertise and taste. That is a game changer. And I don't know what exactly that will do, but I know it's going to be pretty cool and very valuable. So if you're a go-to-market leader and you're tired of the context switching and you're tired of the copying and pasting and you want the efficiency gains, the fast iteration tempo, never have to solve the same problem twice. You guys, I think you can tell I'm really working here to quantify some specific value props. But the core of it is if you want to adopt cutting edge AI tooling to get a competitive edge in your market and have outcomes around accelerating content, reducing your time to market, better visibility into your data for strategic decision making, because like we talked about, it's that expertise, right? You can touch every single data point with your expertise and ingest it properly. This is the system for you. Whether you do a project with me, I take you on as a client, or you've tried and figure out some version of this internally, this is what the future looks like. So my DMs are open for exploring partnerships like that. And if you just want to talk about context engineering in general, right, feel free to hit me up. This is something I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I kind of hope it shows through in the video how much I'm enjoying this. So thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and bye.